Talking about yourself in English is one of the most important things you can learn. It's how you make friends, start conversations, and connect with people in everyday life. Whether you're meeting someone for the first time or introducing yourself in class or at work, knowing how to talk about yourself clearly and confidently in English is a big step forward in your learning journey. Hi, and welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today, we're going to talk about how to talk about yourself in English. Let's start with something very simple. Imagine someone asks you, "Can you tell me a little about yourself?" This is a very common question in English. You might hear it in job interviews, at school, or even when meeting someone new at a party. So how can you answer that question in a way that sounds clear and natural? First, let's begin with your name. That's usually the very first thing we say when we introduce ourselves. You can say, "My name is Sarah," or "I'm Sarah." Both are correct. If you want to sound a little more formal, use "my name is." If you want to sound more casual, "I'm" is perfect. Now, let's practice together. I'll say it first, and then you repeat after me. My name is Sarah. I'm Sarah. Great. Now, try using your own name. Say it out loud. My name is... Pause. Good job. After your name, you can talk about where you're from. You might say, "I'm from Brazil," or "I come from India." Both of these are common and natural ways to talk about your country or city. If you live in a different place now, you could say, "I'm originally from Japan, but now I live in Canada." Let's try a few together. Repeat after me. I'm from Spain. I come from Mexico. I'm originally from China, but now I live in Australia. Very nice. When you talk about yourself, it's also helpful to mention and your job or what you do during the day. If you work, you can say, "I work as a teacher," or "I'm a driver." If you don't work or you're studying, you might say, "I'm a student," or "I'm currently looking for a job." Try this with me. I work as a nurse. I'm a shop assistant. I'm a student. I'm looking for a new job right now. That's excellent. Now you might want to add something about your hobbies or what you like to do in your free time. This helps people get to know you better. You can say, "In my free time, I like to read books," or "I enjoy cooking on the weekends." Other ways to say this include, "I love watching movies," or "I'm really into sports." Let's practice. Repeat after me. I like reading. I enjoy playing guitar. I love spending time with my family. I'm really into photography. That's wonderful. A simple introduction might go like this. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Canada. I work as an English teacher, and in my free time I enjoy painting and going for walks. That's it. A friendly, short way to introduce yourself. Now let's slow it down and build one together. I'll say it piece by piece, and you follow along. Hi, I'm your name. I'm from your city or country. I work as your job. In my free time, I like to your hobby. Try saying your full introduction out loud. You can even pause the video if you need to. Go ahead, give it a try. That's a great start. Don't worry if you feel shy or unsure. The more you practice, the easier it will become. And remember, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just speak from the heart and keep going. Another important part of talking about yourself is sharing how old you are, if it feels appropriate. You don't always need to say it, but if you do, you can say, "I'm 30 years old," or simply, "I'm 30. Try that with me. I'm 28 years old. I'm 42. I'm 19. Good. You might also want to mention your family. You can say, "I have 2 brothers and 1 sister," or "I'm married," or "I have a son." Let's practice that together. I have 1 brother. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I live with my parents. That's great. Talking about where you live now is also helpful. You can say, "I live in New York," or "I live in a small town near Seoul." Some people might say, "I've lived here for 5 years," or "I just moved here last month." Repeat after me. I live in London. I've been here for 2 years. I just moved to Berlin. Perfect. So now, let's build a full self-introduction again, using everything we've learned so far. I'll say an example, and then you try with your own details. Here's mine. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I work as an English teacher. I've been living in London for 2 years. I enjoy painting and reading in my free time. Now it's your turn. Take a deep breath. Use your name, where you're from, your job or what you do, where you live, and what you like to do. Go ahead. I'll wait a moment while you try it. Very well done. I'm proud of you for speaking out loud. Even if you made a few mistakes, it's okay. That's how we grow. Sometimes when people talk about themselves, they make small mistakes. For example, saying, I am work as a teacher, instead of, I work as a teacher. Or, I am from Brazil but live Canada, instead of, I am from Brazil but I live in Canada. These are very common. Don't worry if you make them. What matters is that you keep trying and listen carefully to how native speakers say things. Let me show you a few corrections in a kind way. Listen to this sentence, I am liking to watch movies. That's not quite right. We don't usually say, am liking in English. We say, I like to watch movies. Let's try the correct watus. Together. I like to watch movies. Nice and clear. Here's another one. She have 2 brothers. That's a common mistake. The correct sentence is, she has 2 brothers. Repeat after me. She has 2 brothers. Great. The more you hear English, the more you'll start to notice the little patterns. And when you practice speaking out loud, you'll become more confident with those patterns too. Now let's do a little role play. Imagine I'm asking you questions and you answer me out loud. Ready? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? Where do you live now? What do you like to do in your free time? Do you have any family? That's wonderful. These are the kinds of questions that help you build real conversations with people. Let's imagine you're meeting someone new at a cafe. They smile and say, Hi, I'm Anna. What's your name? You smile and say, Hi, I'm your name. Nice to meet you. Then she asks, Where are you from? You answer, I'm from your country. She asks, Oh, what do you do? And you say, I work as a job, or I'm a student. That's how a real conversation flows. Step by step, question and answer. It's friendly, it's easy, and it helps people get to know you. You're doing a great job so far. Take a moment to breathe. Relax your shoulders. You're not just learning English, you're learning how to express yourself, and that's a beautiful thing. Sometimes when you talk about yourself in English, you may feel nervous or unsure about your grammar or pronunciation. That's completely normal. Even native speakers sometimes hesitate when introducing themselves. So please be kind to yourself. Don't try to be perfect. Just try to be clear and try to be real. One way to feel more relaxed is to practice speaking slowly. You don't need to rush. In fact, speaking slowly helps people understand you better and gives you more time to think. Let's try it together now. I'll say a sentence slowly, and you repeat after me. I'm learning English because I want to travel. Now again, a little more naturally. I'm learning English because I want to travel. That's better. Another great sentence you can use when talking about yourself is to explain why you are learning English. This not only gives more information about you, but it also helps others connect with your goals. You can say, I'm learning English to help my career, or I want to speak English so I can travel more easily. Let's practice a few examples. Repeat after me. I'm learning English because I want to study abroad. I want to improve my English to get a better job. I'm learning English so I can talk to people from different countries. Very nice. Talking about yourself isn't just about facts like your name or your job. It's also about your personality, your dreams, your experiences. These are things that make you interesting and unique. Even with simple words, you can say so much about who you are. For example, you can say, I'm a positive person, or I'm very friendly. You could also say, I'm a little shy, but I love learning new things. Let's practice together. I'm a hard-working person. I'm very curious. I'm a little quiet at first, but I open up later. You're doing great. Now let's take it a step further and talk about your daily routine. People often ask questions like, what's a typical day like for you? To answer this, you can say things like, I wake up at 7, or I go to work at 9 and come home around 6. Let's build a simple daily routine together. Repeat after me. I usually wake up at 7 in the morning. I eat breakfast and then get ready for work. I start work at 9 and finish at 5. In the evening, I have dinner and relax. Before bed, I like to read or watch a little TV. Great job. You see, with these short sentences, you can tell people about your life in a very natural way. These are the small things that create connection. Now let's practice together with a small speaking challenge. I'll ask questions and give you time to answer out loud. What time do you usually wake up? What do you do in the morning? What time do you start work or school? What do you do in the evening? Excellent. Sometimes you may also want to talk about your past. For example, I studied engineering, or I used to live in a different city. These sentences help others understand your background. Let's try a few. Repeat after me. I studied business in university. I used to live in a small town, but now I live in a big city. When I was a child, I loved drawing. You're doing great. Now imagine someone says, tell me something interesting about you. How would you answer? You don't have to say something big or amazing. Just be honest and share something small but personal. For example, I can play the piano, or I've traveled to 5 different countries. Let's try that together. I'm really good at baking cakes. I love dancing and music. I've visited 3 different countries. These little facts help paint a picture of who you are. Remember, the more you talk about yourself, the easier it becomes. Try to make it part of your daily routine. You could talk to yourself in the mirror, or record your voice on your phone and listen back. These small actions help you build confidence. Let's now talk about feelings. How do you describe your emotions when someone asks, how are you feeling today? You can say, I feel happy, or I'm a little tired. Some other useful phrases are, I'm excited, I'm feeling nervous, or I'm relaxed. Let's say them together. I feel happy today. I'm a little tired. I'm excited about my weekend plans. I feel calm and relaxed right now. Good job. When you describe yourself, these words help bring your personality to life. Don't be afraid to share your emotions. They make your English sound more real and more human. Now let's review a full self-introduction that includes all the pieces we've learned so far. Listen closely. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Canada, and I live in London now. I work as an English teacher. I've been teaching for 5 years. In my free time, I love painting, reading, and going for long walks. I'm a friendly person who enjoys helping others learn. I'm learning Spanish right now, so I know how it feels to learn a new language. I usually wake up at 7 and start work at 9. After work, I relax by listening to music or watching a movie. One interesting thing about me is that I can play the guitar. That's a complete introduction. Simple, natural, and full of small details that help people know who you are. Now it's your turn. Try creating your own full introduction. You can follow this structure: your name, where you're from, where you live now, what you do, your hobbies, a little about your personality, your daily routine, something interesting about you. Go slowly. Don't worry about mistakes. Just try. Ready? Go ahead. Say it all out loud. Wonderful. I'm really proud of you for practicing out loud. It takes courage to speak another language, but the more you speak, the stronger your skills become. Let's now shift into a little pronunciation practice, because it's important to not only know the words, but to say them clearly and confidently. Repeat each phrase after me, focusing on your mouth, your voice, and your breath. I'm from Brazil. I work as a driver. In my free time, I like to cook. I live with my family in a small apartment. I'm learning English because I want to study abroad. Very nice. Let your voice move gently through each word. Don't push. Just let it flow. Now try saying everything in one breath. I'm from Brazil. I work as a driver. In my free time, I like to cook. I live with my family in a small apartment. I'm learning English because I want to study abroad. Great work. As you practice these sentences, try to notice the rhythm. English has a natural rhythm with strong and soft sounds. You don't need to think too much about it now, but just notice how your mouth feels when you speak slowly and clearly. It's okay to repeat the same sentence many times. Repetition helps your brain and body remember the shape of the language. Say this one with me 3 times. I'm learning English so I can talk to people from different countries. Again, I'm learning English so I can talk to people from different countries. One more time. I'm learning English so I can talk to people from different countries. Wonderful. Now to keep improving, try to write your own introduction on paper. Then read it out loud every day. You can change it a little each time. Add more information. Make it feel like you. That's how language grows, from small pieces, repeated often, with love and patience. When you practice speaking English every day, even for a short time, something begins to change. You start to feel more comfortable. The words come more easily. Your voice becomes stronger. Each sentence builds your confidence, one step at a time. Let's try a simple activity together. I'll ask you a few easy questions and you answer them aloud. You don't need to rush. Speak slowly and clearly, like you're talking to a friend. What's your name? Where do you live? What do you do? What do I like doing in your free time? What's something interesting about you? How are you feeling today? Good. If you answered out loud, you're already improving your speaking. Even short answers help you build fluency. And if you didn't speak yet, pause and try now. It's okay to take your time. Many learners feel nervous about making mistakes. That's completely normal. But mistakes are part of the process. They show that you're trying. They help you grow. You don't need to wait until your English is perfect. Start with what you can say today. Even something as simple as, I'm Emma, I live in Paris, I like music, is a great way to express yourself. Let's talk about different parts of your life using the past, present, and future. These tenses help you share more about your journey. Here are some examples from the past. I lived in a small village. I studied English in school. I worked in a restaurant before. Now let's talk about the present. I live in the city now. I study English online. I work as a nurse. Now for the future, I want to learn more. I hope to get a better job. I'm going to travel next year. Now let's connect all 3. I studied computer science. Now I work in an office. In the future, I want to start my own company. With simple phrases like these, you can tell people where you've been, where you are now, and where you're going. Next, let's describe personality. You might want to tell people what kind of person you are. This adds color to your introduction. Try saying these with me. I'm kind and patient. I'm hardworking. I'm creative and like solving problems. You can also talk about how you feel in social situations. I'm quiet at first, but I open up later. I enjoy meeting people, even though I get a little nervous. I like listening more than speaking in big groups. These simple, honest sentences help others understand you and make you sound more natural. Now let's complete a few thoughts together. I'll start, and you finish out loud in your own words. I'm someone who enjoys. In the future, I want to. People often say that I'm in my free time. I usually, well done. These kinds of sentences help you speak clearly and confidently about yourself. Let's now talk about your reason for learning English. This helps others connect with you, and it reminds you of your goal. Say these with me. I'm learning English to study abroad. I want to speak with people from other countries. I need English for my job. I hope to live in another country someday. When you add a reason to your introduction, it shows your motivation. It gives meaning to your words. Sometimes you may need to introduce yourself in a formal situation, like a job interview or classroom. In those cases, it's helpful to talk about your strengths. Say these with me. I'm organized and reliable. I learn quickly and ask good questions. I work well with others. I enjoy solving problems. Now think of one of your own strengths. Say it out loud now, beginning with I'm good at or I'm comfortable with. Speak slowly and clearly. Let's now put it all together in a short introduction. Here's an example. Hi, I'm Nora. I'm from Morocco and I live in Madrid. I work in a bank and I'm studying English to improve my communication. I'm a friendly person who enjoys helping others. In my free time, I like cooking and going for walks. Now it's your turn. Try saying your own version out loud. Start with your name, where you're from, what you do, why you're learning English, and something you enjoy. Very good. If it felt hard, try again slowly. The more you say it, the more natural it will feel. Now let's improve the way your speech flows. In English, we often use small connecting words to join ideas. Words like and, but, because, and so make your sentences smoother. Let's try a few tog. Ether. I'm from Japan and I teach art at a school. I enjoy reading, but I also like sports. I'm learning English because I want to travel. I study a little every day so I can keep improving. Now say each one again on your own. Try to keep the pace slow and even. Well done. These simple connectors make your English feel more fluent. Let's now do a shadowing practice. I'll say a full self-introduction. You repeat each sentence after me. Try to match the rhythm and sound. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Canada and now live in London. I teach English and have been doing it for 5 years. I enjoy painting, reading, and going for walks. I'm friendly and love helping people learn. I'm also studying Spanish, so I understand what it feels like to learn a new language. Now let's say it again at a more natural speed. This time, try to speak along with me. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Canada and now live in London. I teach English and have been doing it for 5 years. I enjoy painting, reading, and going for walks. I'm friendly and love helping people learn. I'm also studying Spanish, so I understand what it feels like to learn a new language. That's it. Excellent work. If you didn't follow the full sentence the first time, no problem. Go back, listen again, and speak with me. Repeating these kinds of short speeches builds strong speaking habits. Every time you talk about yourself, you build your identity in English. You're becoming more than a learner, you're becoming a speaker. And that's something to be proud of. Let's now imagine a real conversation. You're meeting someone for the first time, maybe at a cafe, a class, or at work. They look at you, smile, and say, "Hi, I'm James. What's your name?" You respond with, "Hi, I'm Emily. Nice to meet you." Then James asks, "Where are you from?" You say, "I'm from South Korea, but I live in Germany now." This kind of back and forth is how most natural conversations begin. It's simple, friendly, and gives both people a chance to learn about each other. Let's walk through another one together. I'll play both parts so you can hear how it sounds, and then you can try repeating the answers yourself. Hi, I'm Sarah. What's your name? I'm glad to meet you. Where are you from? Oh, interesting. And what do you do? That sounds nice. What do you like to do in your free time? Now pause and try answering each of those questions in your own words. Speak clearly and slowly. Don't worry about grammar, just focus on expressing your ideas. If you didn't have an answer for one of the questions, that's okay. You can think about it and try again. The goal is not perfection, it's comfort and confidence. Now let's add some variety. Sometimes people ask the same things in different ways. Instead of, "Where are you from?" they might ask, "Where do you come from?" Instead of, "What do you do?" they might say, "What's your job?" Or, "What kind of work do you do?" Let's practice those together. Where do you come from? What kind of work do you do? What do you like doing on the weekends? How long have you lived here? What brought you to this city? You can prepare your answers to these questions in advance and practice them out loud every day. The more familiar you become with these patterns, the easier it will be to respond in real conversations. Let's go deeper now. Imagine someone says, "Tell me more about yourself." This is your chance to speak a little longer, to share something real. You don't need to talk for 5 minutes, just a few sentences that show who you are. Here's an example. I'm Anna. I'm from Poland and I've been living in France for 3 years. I work as a nurse and I really enjoy helping people. I started learning English because I want to travel and connect with people from different countries. In my free time, I like gardening, listening to podcasts, and going for walks with my dog. Now try creating your own version. Think about your life, where you live, what you do, why you're learning English, and what you enjoy. Say it out loud, slowly. You can even record yourself if you want to hear how it sounds. Now let's talk about how to answer follow-up questions. After you introduce yourself, people may ask for more detail. If you say, "I work in an office," they might say, "Oh, what kind of office?" Or, "Do you like your job?" It's helpful to be ready for those small follow-ups. Let's practice. I'm a teacher. What subject do you teach? I'm a student. What are you studying? I'm a driver. Where do you usually drive? I work in a restaurant. What's your role there? After you answer, you can also ask a question back. This keeps the conversation going. For example, I'm a photographer. What about you? I live near the city center. Do you live nearby? I enjoy hiking. Do you like outdoor activities? Asking questions is just as important as giving answers. It shows interest, and it helps build a natural rhythm in your conversations. Now let's look at how to express your daily habits. These are great for small talk and everyday conversations. You might say, "I wake up at 7, or "I usually take the train to work." Let's practice a few daily routines together. Repeat each sentence with me. I usually wake up around 7 in the morning. I make coffee and check my messages. I leave for work at 8:30. At work, I answer emails and attend meetings. In the evening, I cook dinner and relax with a book. I go to bed around 10. Now try saying your own version. What time do you wake up? What's your morning routine? How do you spend your evening? The more you talk about your day, the more confident you'll feel in casual conversations, and the more English becomes part of your real life. You can also talk about your weekends. People often ask, "What did you do over the weekend?" Or, "Do you have any plans for this weekend?" Here are some ways you can respond. Last weekend, I went to the park with my friends. I stayed home and watched a movie. This weekend, I plan to visit my family. I'm thinking about going shopping or just relaxing. These are very common topics in English conversations, so it helps to be ready with natural, clear responses. Now let's do a quick challenge. I'll ask you 5 common questions, and you try to answer them aloud, as if you're in a real conversation. What do you do? Where are you living right now? Why are you learning English? What do you enjoy doing when you're not working? Can you describe your typical day? Great work. Even if your answers were short, you practiced something real. And that's how fluency grows, one honest sentence at a time. Finally, let's remember one very important thing. The best way to sound natural in English is to be yourself. You don't need to use big words or long sentences. Just speak with honesty, speak with clarity, and speak with confidence. That's what makes your English beautiful. Now let's take a little time to work on your pronunciation. When you talk about yourself, you want your voice to sound natural and clear. You don't need to speak fast or copy every accent. Just speak slowly and calmly, using your own voice. Let's start with a few simple sentences. I'll say each one and you can repeat after me. Focus on how each word feels in your mouth. Notice the rhythm. Don't rush. I'm learning English to talk with new people. I live in a small city, but I enjoy the quiet life. In my free time, I love listening to music and reading. I'm friendly and always try to help others. Right now, I'm working on improve. Nang my speaking. Let's say them one more time. Keep your tone soft and steady. Let each word flow into the next. Great. You don't need to be perfect. The goal is to be understood and feel confident. If you want to improve your pronunciation even more, try saying the same sentence many times. Each time, say it a little smoother. Try this one now. I'm learning English because I want to travel and connect with people around the world. Say it once. Now again. Now one more time. Very nice. Repeating full, natural sentences helps you sound more fluent. It also helps your brain learn the pattern of real conversation. Now let's talk more about your goals. Sharing your goals helps others understand your journey, and it helps you stay motivated. You can say things like, I'm learning English to study abroad. I'm practicing every day to prepare for a job interview. I want to feel confident when I speak with native speakers. Say these with me. I'm learning English to travel more easily. I want to find a job where I can use English every day. My goal is to speak clearly and understand conversations. I'm studying English to help my children with school. These are meaningful sentences. They tell a story, your story. Now take a moment and say your own goal out loud. Begin with, I'm learning English because, or my goal is, or I want to. And then complete the sentence in your own words. If that felt difficult, try writing it down and practicing it a few times each day. Soon, it will feel completely natural to say out loud. You can also add your timeline or progress. For example, I started learning English last year. I've been practicing for 6 months. I try to speak for 10 minutes every day. Let's practice those together. I started learning English last year. I've been practicing every day for 3 months. I try to speak out loud for 10 minutes each evening. Good. These are small but powerful sentences. They show your effort. They show your commitment. Now let's talk about reflection. Speaking about yourself also means thinking about your progress. You can ask yourself questions and try answering them in English, just like a daily check-in. Try these now. What have I improved this month? What new words have I learned this week? What do I want to get better at next? Even if you answer with just one sentence, that's already great practice. For example, this month, I've improved my listening. This week, I learned how to talk about my job. Next, I want to work on pronunciation. These reflections help you stay focused and positive. They show you how far you've come. Now imagine you're meeting someone who is also learning English. They ask you, how do you practice? You could answer with something like, I practice by speaking out loud at home every day. I listen to English videos and repeat what I hear. I keep a small notebook to write new words and phrases. I try to use English when I message my friends. Now think about how you would answer that question. Say it aloud in your own words. Be honest. Be clear. Speaking about your habits also helps you remember them. The more you talk about how you learn, the stronger your learning becomes. Let's now do a little guided exercise. I'll say a sentence, and you respond in your own way. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Where do you see yourself in the next year? How has learning English changed your life? What makes you proud of yourself this week? Take your time with each one. There's no pressure to say something big. Even a small, simple answer is a great step forward. Now let's do one more round of shadowing practice. I'll speak a few full sentences. You repeat after me. I'm learning English to explore the world and meet new people. I work in a restaurant, and I use English with some customers. I've been practicing for 3 months, and I feel more confident. I enjoy learning through videos like this one, and I try to repeat what I hear. One day, I hope to use English in a job I really enjoy. Repeat each sentence slowly. Focus on your breathing and rhythm. Imagine yourself saying these things to someone in real life. Now let's try them all again together, as one short speech. I'm learning English to explore the world and meet new people. I work in a restaurant and I use English with some customers. I've been practicing for 3 months and I feel more confident. I enjoy learning through videos like this one, and I try to repeat what I hear. One day, I hope to use English in a job I really enjoy. That was excellent. You're speaking clearly, expressing ideas, and building a voice in English. You're not just learning grammar or vocabulary. You're building something deeper. You're learning how to share who you are in a new language, and that's something to celebrate. Let's go a little deeper now. The more comfortable you become with talking about yourself, the more natural it will feel when someone asks you questions in a real conversation. And these conversations often happen in everyday places, at work, at school, in a cafe, or even while waiting for a bus. So it's helpful to prepare now, in a quiet, safe space, so that when the time comes, you're ready. Let's imagine a friendly conversation between two people. One person says, "So, what do you do?" That question means, "What is your job?" or "What do you spend your time doing?" You might answer with something like, "I'm a student," or "I work at a hospital," or "I stay at home with my kids." You can also add more like, "I'm studying English right now," or "I work part-time in a bakery." Let's practice a few together. Repeat after me. I'm a student at the university. I work full-time in a small company. Right now, I'm focusing on my English studies. I help my family at home and take care of my children. I'm between jobs and looking for something new. Very good. All of these responses are clear, honest, and natural. You don't need to use big words. Just speak from your real experience. Now let's say the question comes a little differently. Someone might say, "What do you spend most of your time doing?" or "How do you usually spend your days?" These are friendly questions, not tests. Just a way for people to get to know you. Here are a few natural answers. During the day, I study and take care of my home. I go to work in the morning, and in the evening, I relax. Most of the time, I'm taking online classes. I usually wake up early and help my parents before going to work. Now think about your own daily routine. How would you describe it in just 2 or 3 sentences? Try saying it now. Speak clearly and slowly. That's wonderful. You're learning not just how to say words, but how to communicate your real life. Let's do a little speaking challenge now. I'll ask you a question, and you try to answer it using your own voice. What do you usually do in the morning? What do you enjoy doing on weekends? How do you spend your evenings? What is something new you've learned recently? Take your time with each one. These questions help you practice building your thoughts in English. You can repeat them tomorrow too, or even write your answers down and read them out loud later. Now let's imagine another type of question. Sometimes people ask, "What are you passionate about?" or "What do you care about the most?" These are slightly deep questions, but you can still answer with simple English. Here are a few examples. I care a lot about helping others. I'm passionate about learning languages. I really enjoy working with children. I love creating things with my hands, like crafts or cooking. Now try creating your own sentence. Start with "I care about," or "I'm passionate about," or "I really enjoy," and speak it out loud. You're doing a great job. These sentences help you express your personality and your values, and they help you connect with others in a more meaningful way. Let's talk a little about comfort and confidence. You might be thinking, what if I forget the words? Or, what if I say something wrong? That's okay. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. What matters more is that you keep going, that you keep speaking, even when it's not perfect. Let's try a few comforting thoughts that you can say to yourself when you feel nervous. I don't need to be perfect. I'm doing my best. And that's enough. Every sentence I say makes me stronger. I'm proud of how far I've come. Repeat those quietly to yourself. Speaking kindly to yourself is just as important as speaking clearly to others. Now let's practice asking questions too. Being able to ask questions helps you lead the conversation, not just follow it. Try these with me. What do you do for work? Where are you from originally? How long have you been living here? What do you like to do in your free time? Now imagine asking someone these questions and then answering them yourself. What do you do for work? I'm a graphic designer at a small company. Where are you from originally? I'm from the Philippines, but I live in the UK now. How long have you been living here? I've been here for 2 years. What do you like to do in your free time? I like cooking and listening to music. When you can both ask and answer, conversations will feel much smoother, more natural, more balanced. Let's now build another full self-introduction together. You can listen to mine first, and then try to say your own version after. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Canada and now living in London. I teach English and have been teaching for over 5 years. I enjoy painting, reading, and going for long walks. I started learning Spanish last year, so I know how it feels to be a language learner. I'm learning every day, just like you. Now pause and build your version. Start with your name, your country, your work or daily activity, what you enjoy doing, and something personal you're working on. That's it. You're learning how to put your life into words, in a way that's simple, clear, and truly yours. Every day, take a few minutes to speak out loud about yourself. It can be the same sentences or new ones each time. You can talk about what you did today, how you're feeling, or what your plans are for tomorrow. Here's an easy habit to try. Each night before bed, say 3 sentences out loud. Today, I felt, I learned. Tomorrow, I want to. Let's try that together now. Today, I felt proud because I practiced English. I learned how to answer common questions about myself. Tomorrow, I want to practice again and speak even more clearly. That's a beautiful habit. Just 3 sentences a day can lead to powerful progress. Before we finish, let's take a moment to reflect on everything you've learned today. You've practiced how to introduce yourself, how to talk about where you're from, what you do, and what you enjoy. You've learned how to share your goals, your daily routines, and even your personality. You've spoken about your past, your present, and your future, and you've done it all in English. That's a big step forward. Learning a language is not just about woes. RDS, it's about using those words to express who you are, and you're doing exactly that. Now let's bring everything together, one last time. I'll guide you through a complete self-introduction. You can speak along with me or pause and say each part in your own words. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Canada and I live in London now. I teach English and have been doing it for several years. In my free time, I love painting, reading, and going for walks. I'm also learning Spanish, so I understand what it's like to learn a new language. I'm always working to improve, and I enjoy connecting with people from different cultures. Now it's your turn. Take a deep breath. Say your name, where you're from, where you live, what you do, what you enjoy, and something you're working on or learning. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just speak with honesty. That's wonderful. Even if it felt a little hard, you did something powerful today. You spoke about yourself in English. You practiced your rhythm. You stretched your voice and your confidence. Now, as you go forward, remember this. You don't need to say everything all at once. Start with 1 or 2 simple sentences. Build slowly. Speak every day, even just a little. And be kind to yourself along the way. You can continue practicing by recording your own voice, or you can write a few sentences in a notebook and read them out loud each day. You can even practice in front of a mirror. All of these small steps will help you become stronger, clearer, and more confident. If you ever feel unsure, come back to this video and practice with me again. I'll be here whenever you need support. You're not alone on this journey. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I'm really proud of the effort you've made. Remember, your English voice is already inside you. All you have to do is keep using it, day by day. If you enjoyed this lesson, I hope you'll give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more helpful practice. There's always more to learn, and I'll be here to guide you. Until next time, keep speaking, keep smiling, and keep growing in your English journey. Take care, and see you soon.